What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today we're diving into Ilia Topuria breaking his silence about his UFC future. In recent weeks there has been heavy speculation surrounding Topuria and when the lightweight champion will return to the octagon. Now he has finally addressed the delay. Before we get into it, make sure to like the video to support the channel. When it was recently announced that Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett will fight for an interim title at UFC 324 next month, the MMA world was shocked. Many believed Topuria would headline one of the UFC's first major cards on Paramount Plus given his star power. Since then rumors surfaced suggesting Topuria is going through a divorce which could explain his absence. Speaking with Carlos Contreras Legaspi, Topuria confirmed he is dealing with personal issues. He explained that he does not have a clear timeline for his return and that his priority right now is the well-being of his family and children. He said once everything is resolved he will be ready to return to the octagon and give fans the show they deserve. Topuria was also asked whether he plans to attend UFC 324 in Las Vegas. He said discussions are ongoing about whether he will make the trip, but he hopes to be there. With Topuria unlikely to compete in the first quarter of 2026, many are wondering if he could return next summer. Pimblett has even suggested that the champion may need to vacate the belt if he cannot return by then. However, Pimblett showed respect for Topuria's situation and acknowledged that family issues come first. When told that Pimblett wished him well, Topuria responded by praising Paddy as an entertaining fighter who has learned from past mistakes. He added that what happens inside the octagon is what truly excites fans. Regarding the UFC's decision to book Pimblett vs Gaethje for an interim belt, Topuria said he supports it. He revealed that he spoke with the UFC and understood the need for an interim title due to his inability to compete in January. He said both fighters deserve the opportunity and described it as the closest either of them has come to holding a world championship. A future fight between Topuria and Pimblett would be massive. But what if Gaethje wins on January 24th? When asked about potentially facing Gaethje on a rumored White House card, Topuria said he accepts whatever opportunity comes his way. He hinted that the UFC may already have plans in place but admitted a fight against Gaethje would be exciting, but he also suggested it would be difficult for Gaethje to disrupt the UFC's plans for a potential showdown with Pimblett. That comment could spark a response from Gaethje's camp. In other major news, Topuria has revealed he is being blackmailed following divorce rumors. The champion released a public statement claiming he has been threatened with false domestic violence allegations unless financial demands were met. Topuria strongly denied the accusations and stated that all relevant evidence including audio recordings, written communications, witness statements and video material has been preserved and submitted to judicial authorities. He explained that he initially stayed silent to protect his children but decided to speak out to prevent false narratives from spreading. He emphasized that he has never engaged in violence and has full confidence in the legal process. Out of respect for his family and the ongoing investigation, he said he will not comment further and asked for privacy during this time. Switching gears to the heavyweight division, Aspinall has expressed interest in a potential boxing match against Francis Ngannou. Ngannou has repeatedly stated that he wants more boxing matches despite suffering a knockout loss to Anthony Joshua in 2024. Aspinall recently spent time with boxer Tommy Fury and was asked about possibly stepping into the boxing ring. While he dismissed the idea of pursuing a traditional boxing title run, he did leave the door open for a high-profile crossover bout if the opportunity made sense. Let me know in the comments who you think Topuria should fight when he returns and whether you would want to see Aspinall test himself in the boxing ring against Ngannou.
Do you reckon you would ever go into boxing properly? Would you? Was it a route that you'd ever go down?
I'd never be a world champion. I wouldn't try and be a world champion. You need to dedicate your whole life, don't you?
Yeah, but you was good at boxing though. Like coming from an MMA background.
Yeah, but I spent my whole life doing MMA now, haven't I? For me to be like 33 and then think that I'm going to win a world title in boxing, it's unrealistic.
I don't know so much, you know, because with your speed is heavyweight. You got to think in boxing.
I reckon I could have a couple of like
warm-ups.
No, I reckon I could have a couple of like not freak show fights, but like big fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a big name or something.
It's that space though, isn't it? Like all these fights. Look at Jake Paul and Joshua. He couldn't beat me with a broken hand.
No.
So how are you going to go from me to fight somebody like him? It doesn't make any sense.
Who do you think Tom should fight if he was to box?
Jake Paul, do me.
Oh no.
Tom.
I wouldn't mind boxing an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? I think that'd be.
Ghani would be a good fight, no?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
That'd be a big fight, that.
Mate, I've got fights.
You walk him out, yeah?
100%. I mean,
I've got fights in the UFC to do first.
Yeah.
I got them fights to do.
There's a lot of money to be earned. Because look at Mayweather McGregor. Them two had it off.
Now as noted, unless the MMA world turns upside down and Dana White completely changes his stance on Francis Ngannou, the chances of that fight happening seem extremely slim. Ngannou has repeatedly called for a boxing match with former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder, and there has also been speculation that he could face new PFL heavyweight champion Vadim Nemkov next. UFC updates: after the latest UFC ESPN card aired this past week, the promotion now heads into a 6-week break. That said, fights are still being announced, so let's take a look at the latest updates. Marcel Dorf recently reported that bantamweights Macy Chiasson and Eileen Perez will clash at the UFC event in Mexico on February 28. Chiasson is looking to rebound after losses to Yana Santos and Ketlin Vieira and has gone 2-3 in her last 5 fights. Perez is coming off a decision win over Carol Rosa in January and is currently riding a 5-fight winning streak. Dorf also reported that Jean Matsumoto will take on Farid Basharat at the February 7th fight night card in Las Vegas. Matsumoto earned a split decision win over Miles Johns in June, bouncing back from a narrow loss to Rob Font in February, which snapped his 16-fight winning streak. Basharat picked up a decision victory over Chris Gutierrez in October, moving his record to 14-0. That same February 7th card will feature a key flyweight matchup between Amir Albazi and Kyoji Horiguchi. Albazi returns for the first time since December 2024 when he lost a decision to Jaffel Filho. Prior to that, he had also dropped a decision to Brandon Moreno, which ended his 6-fight winning streak. Horiguchi made his long-awaited UFC return in October, earning an impressive submission win over Tager Ulambikov and is unbeaten in his last 7 fights. Marcel Dorf also noted that Ryan Spann will face heavyweight Rizvan Kuniev on that Vegas card. Spann submitted Lukasz Brzeski with a guillotine in July and has gone 2-3 in his last 5 outings. Kuniev lost a split decision to Curtis Blades in his UFC debut after entering the promotion on a 12-fight unbeaten streak. Kamaru Usman could give Islam Makhachev a competitive fight. There has been debate about whether the UFC should book Kamaru Usman against Islam Makhachev next. Despite Usman having just 1 win since 2021, some believe his pedigree as one of the greatest welterweights ever makes the matchup compelling. Speaking with Red Corner MMA, Henry Cejudo explained why he thinks Usman could be competitive. Cejudo said Usman has the wrestling ability to defend takedowns and the power to change a fight with one punch, noting that Makhachev has been knocked out before. He acknowledged that Islam's defense, striking and level changes are elite, but insisted he would not count out the Nigerian Nightmare. Usman also pushed Khamzat Chimaev to a decision in 2023, showing he can still compete at a high level. Still, with contenders like Shavkat Rakhmonov, Michael Morales and Ian Machado Gary in the title picture, many fans question whether the 8th-ranked Usman should leapfrog the division. Brandon Royval releases statement following loss. Brandon Royval had a rough outing at UFC 112, losing by first-round TKO to Manel Kape in the main event. The fight was stopped at the 3-minute 18-second mark after a barrage of punches. Royval later reassured fans on social media that although he was disappointed with the result, his health is fine and he will fight again. He entered the bout coming off a decision loss to newly crowned champion Joshua Van. After his win, Kape made it clear he wants a title shot, saying he plans to knock out Van as well. Van quickly responded online, calling for the fight and suggesting they run it back in Houston, Texas. The UFC has an event scheduled for Houston on February 21st, headlined by Sean Strickland vs. Anthony Hernandez. However, it seems unlikely a title fight would be added to that card at this time. As for champion Alexander Pantoja, he recently dealt with an injury at UFC 323, but reports indicate he will not be sidelined for long. That wraps up today's video. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We will see you all tomorrow.